Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for joining us today to answer a few allegations raised upon ISKCON Bangalore devotees and yourself by the devotees of ISKCON Bombay. I would like to place few allegations for your response. One of the allegations made upon you is using this ritvik issue, you are trying to stealthily take away the ISKCON Bangalore temple property from ISKCON Bombay by using a defunct society called ISKCON Bangalore Society. Is this true? What is your response?
This is absolutely false, and I'll take indulgence in explaining a process of mediation that happened between ISKCON Bombay and ISKCON Bangalore. And by going through what all we went through in the process of mediation, this allegation stands completely exposed that it is merely an allegation. The real issue is not property. The real issue is about we wanting in ISKCON Srila Prabhupada's July 9 directive on initiation to be implemented, at least in ISKCON Bangalore and ISKCON Bangalore group of temples. That is a real issue. I'll tell you what happened in the Supreme Court. In 2011, the Supreme Court passed an order. I'll read it out.
Okay.
June 6, 2011, the judges said, however, we express a pious hope that the learned counsel appearing for the respective parties shall find some time and examine the possibility of amicably resolving the issues involved in the present matter. We would also expect that the different sections of the august institution would avoid unnecessary litigation, and the office bearers of both the societies shall fully cooperate on this behalf. Pursuing this order of the Supreme Court, both parties approached retired Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Ravindran, and several months of mediation meetings took place in Bangalore. Representatives from our side as well as from ISKCON Bombay Bureau side also were there, and finally from their side there were so many demands. All their demands were with respect to property.
Okay.
Their first demand was that Bangalore property should be given over control and ownership to ISKCON Bombay Society. Actually, the Bangalore property, temple property, was allotted to Bangalore Registered Society by the Bangalore Development Authority. So, Bangalore temple is owned by a separately registered society that was registered in 1978, even before I joined the ISKCON movement.
Okay.
I joined in 1981. That society applied to BDA in 1987 for the land, and the land was allotted to the Bangalore Society. So, the title of the Bangalore property is with Bangalore Registered Society.
Okay.
And this was not done by me alone. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, who was the GBC then, he knew about it. Bhanu Swami, who was a regional secretary, he knew about it, because the law stated in those days that PDA can give lands only to societies registered under Karnataka Registration Act.
Okay.
So accordingly, Jayapataka Swami knew about it, and we made application. He was also one of the governing council members of this 1978 registered Bangalore Society. So old members had resigned in 1984. Shankabrit and others had resigned because they were no longer preaching in Bangalore. And people who were presently preaching became the governing council members of this Bangalore Registered Society. So the people who are opposing me, Jayapataka Swami and all those people, they know very well this property is sanctioned by BDA to Bangalore Society.
Okay.
So anyway, one of their demands was that this property should be handed over to them.
You mean ISKCON Bombay?
To ISKCON Bombay. And this is one of the reasons that they had not even registered this property with the Charity Commissioner in Bombay.
Okay.
Every property of Bombay Society should be registered there.
Okay.
But they had not been registered at all. Because they couldn't register, because this property doesn't belong to that society. So then that was the first demand. Why this mediation took so long? Because their demand went on increasing.
Okay.
So first demand was this. We said, okay, fine, take over the property. We have only one condition. After we give you the property, you should give in writing, agree in writing before the Supreme Court that only ritvik system of initiation will be conducted in this temple.
Okay.
That means everyone who is initiated in future will be direct disciples of Srila Prabhupada, as per the July 9 directive of Srila Prabhupada. Strictly follow that system of initiation that Srila Prabhupada left behind. So that was one. Next they came up with, you have properties in Hubli, Mysore, Bangalore, all these properties. That also you should give over. I said, no issue. Take over that property also. We are not after property. But same condition. In those temples only ritvik system of initiation should go on. Then they came up with something else. Actually these Hubli, Mysore, all these properties were acquired after the litigation began. So it is not part of the Supreme Court matter at all.
Okay.
Usually in a mediation process, it is only about disputed property. But these are not disputed properties. That also we are ready to give it.
Okay.
We offered that. But we said same condition, ritvik system of initiation. Then after a few months as the meetings were going on, because they say that, they are accepting everything. Then they thought, we need all your other centers. That also should come under the control of ISKCON Bombay. See, from the time the dispute began, 2000 onwards, ISKCON Bangalore group has acquired many properties, over 25 properties, all over India. And many places, temples are under construction. Many temples are completed.
Okay.
So, all those properties, also you should give it over control of ISKCON Bombay. We said, no problem. We are not after property. Take all those properties which are not even part of this Supreme Court dispute, which will be at least valued about 10 times that of ISKCON Bangalore if you put them all together.
Yes.
Take that also.
Okay.
But one condition, in those temples that we hand over to ISKCON Bombay, you have to agree before the Supreme Court that only ritvik system of initiation will happen in those temples. So that also we offered.
Okay.
So ISKCON Mumbai, or the Bureau, the governing Bureau is the governing council of ISKCON Mumbai. The Bureau got stuck because they are fighting for the property.
Yes.
And we have acceded to everything.
Yes.
And they are before the court. What is the difficulty now?
Correct.
The difficulty is international GBC.
Okay.
ISKCON Bureau presented this proposal to the international GBC.
Our proposal.
Our proposal. To our shock, this proposal was completely rejected by the international GBC. Not only they rejected, they gave a counter proposal. The counter proposal was, we are not worried about the properties. Okay. Those things can be amicably settled. But we cannot accept this ritvik system of initiation, of becoming direct disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Your interpretation of July 9th letter is misconstrued. Rather, we are asking you, we are welcoming you into the larger ISKCON. Come be with us, and some of your senior devotees can become regular gurus. In other words, I mean, what a ridiculous proposal. Our entire contention, the basis of this entire dispute is that, without authorization from Srila Prabhupada,
yes,
one cannot take up the position of a guru. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is clearly written in verse number 4th canto, 8th chapter, 54. One should take initiation from a bona fide spiritual master coming in the disciplic succession, who is authorized by his predecessor spiritual master. This is called Diksha Vidhana. This is a very important reference in Srimad Bhagavatam. The principle is that one can become a spiritual master unless he is authorized by the predecessor spiritual master. So where is that order? There is no such order is accepted by the entire ISKCON, except that Prabhupada did not order anybody to become successor. So we are saying, no, we cannot accept that. That's our contention. We cannot accept your offer to become regular gurus, because there is no such order from Prabhupada to become regular gurus. So the mediation fell flat.
Okay.
Okay. In other words, ISKCON Bangalore offered all properties, not only suit properties, but more than 25 temple properties. Over and above that, they made every attempt to make the peace fail.
Okay.
They thought if they say something now, they brought out a very key thing. Madhu Pandit Das and Chanchalapathi Das should not be in ISKCON Bangalore after the settlement. They thought then I will get very angry. I will throw away the peace proposal. I said, welcome. If you accept Prabhupada as the Acharya for our temples, then me and Chanchalapathi, both of us told, you can put us anywhere, any of our temples as ordinary pujari or to do any service, no need to be in management also. We are happy, we'll think Krishna's will being relieved of all this management, we will nicely chant Hare Krishna. So we were ready for it.
Okay.
That also they were shocked. That means I am not attached to sitting in this Bangalore temple. I am attached to seeing that Prabhupada's order is implemented in ISKCON.
Okay.
As he has desired. So that also failed. So considering all this mediation process that happened, ISKCON Mumbai's bluff that we are fighting for property, with ritvik issue as simply a front. And these are, let them deny this. These are all recorded activities that happened mediation process. Not only that, we handed over this to the Supreme Court.
And when did this happen?
This happened in 2013.
Okay.
From 2011 the process began.
Yes.
2013 we went and gave the conclusion. Your Lordship, mediation has failed.
Our proposal.
Yes, mediation has failed. This for your copy we are handed over to
the
judges.
Whole proceedings of the mediation.
Yes. The essence of what mediation.
Okay.
And gave them a copy also. So that is where mediation ended. So how can they ever say that, that this is all a property issue, ritvik is an excuse.
Okay. So what exactly was the international GBC's response to the proposal that we gave, which ISKCON Bureau presented to them?
Yes. As I said, in essence they rejected it and gave a counter proposal. But it will be very interesting. I will read some of the paragraphs of a return letter that was from GBC and Bureau together to the leaders of Bangalore group of temples, March 9th, 2013. With this letter, we, the governing body commission of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, and members of Bureau of ISKCON India, wish to express our sincere and earnest appeal for all of you to return to the greater family of ISKCON. This would be a glorious reunion wherein everyone would benefit immensely. We have been informed of your significant accomplishments and your continued dedication to Srila Prabhupada and the path of Krishna consciousness, and we honor them. It is our sincerest appeal that we come together as brothers and sisters, putting aside our disputes, forgiving our past dealings with each other, to rebuild our love and trust through mutually respectful relations in pursuit of the higher cause that Srila Prabhupada has entrusted us with. We have been informed of and definitely share some of the pain and concerns you have for the personal and social upheavals caused by misconception of Srila Prabhupada's instructions regarding ISKCON's Diksha Guru system.
So the GBC is accepting that there is a problem with respect to the Diksha Guru system.
You can hear what the problem is. There has been unrealistic artificial conception widely promoted about the Diksha Guru's actual position, which has at times tragically minimized the position of Srila Prabhupada as a preeminent Guru for everyone, for all generations to come within ISKCON.
So they have accepted that this is the problem.
There is a problem with this. It's a long letter. Now, they say, we would like to briefly explain why your insistence on your interpretation of July 9 letter is creating a barrier to our common purpose. Because our insistence in July 9th.
July 9th letter. Yes.
Where Prabhupada is establishing the ritvik system.
Correct.
So, during an earlier conversation with Srila Prabhupada and GBC leaders on May 28,
Okay.
the leaders of ISKCON who were present with Srila Prabhupada were clear that Srila Prabhupada gave instruction that after his physical departure, those who would initiate would be regular gurus.
Okay.
And that the initiate would be, in Srila Prabhupada's own words, his grand disciple, disciple of my disciple. This is completely cut and paste. It's an incomplete representation of Prabhupada's conversation.
The May 28th conversation.
May 28th conversation. They actually, Prabhupada says regular guru. These words are there in that conversation.
Okay.
He is grand disciple, disciple of my disciple. They end there. But when I order, Prabhupada says.
Okay.
So we are only asking where is that order?
Order.
Prabhupada is talking about a principle.
Okay.
When I order,
It is
you
not
will
the
be
order.
grand disciples. So he is saying he is grand disciple, disciple of my disciple when I order. That is a conversation.
And he has not made the order in this conversation.
He has not given the order in this conversation. When I order.
Okay.
And we all are admitting, both sides are admitting that there is no order at all.
Okay.
Okay. Whereas in that very same conversation, in the beginning, Prabhupada said, I am appointing ritviks. So there is an order appointing 11 people as ritviks,
Okay.
who in May 1978, they transformed themselves into Diksha Gurus on the level of Srila Prabhupada.
Okay.
That is called the zonal Acharya system. They had they are worshipped as good as God. Even now, at that time they were publicly being worshipped as good as God.
Mm-hmm.
And out of the 11 people, 9 have only 2 are in the list now. 9 have gone away, leaving the path of Krishna consciousness.
All
Serious
gurus.
path. Yes, they are gurus. Not only gurus, the first 11 acharyas,
Acharyas.
self-proclaimed acharyas.
Okay.
They were only appointed ritviks. Ritviks self-proclaimed themselves as the acharya in 1978. Of course, in 1999, GBC passed a resolution that apologizing to the entire ISKCON community
Okay.
that we misled the ISKCON devotees. They admitted that these people were appointed as 11 acharyas. And because of that, so many excesses that caused pain and loss to the ISKCON movement.
Okay.
Many reversals happened with respect to ISKCON's progress as a Krishna consciousness movement.
This is all admitted by the GBC.
These are all admitted by the GBC. To say that Prabhupada ordered, see what he says, during an earlier conversation with Srila Prabhupada and GBC leaders on May 28, the leaders of ISKCON were present with Srila Prabhupada. The leaders were clear that Srila Prabhupada gave instruction that after his physical departure, those who would initiate will be regular gurus. It's not correct. When they will be regular gurus? When he orders.
When he orders.
That when he orders is repeated in that conversation. It is a tape conversation exists even today.
Okay.
Anybody can see. So that is where our dispute is. Then, therefore they are saying, because of this interpretation, they say we cannot accept July 9th letter.
Okay.
July 9th letter is superseded by an order to become regular gurus. We are asking, where is that order? Even in that conversation, he says, when I order. Still, we believe we share your concerns and are working to achieve the same goals. We continue to take positive action on the guru issue to correct the misconceptions and deviations that seriously injured our worldwide society and subsequently brought the focus on July 9th letter. On this basis, we open the doors of our society and our hearts to you. We believe that mediation process which has been conducted in a fair and reasonable manner can lead to a suitable agreement between Bureau of ISKCON India and Bangalore Group. We invite several of your senior devotees to take up the service of regular gurus.
Okay.
They will be free within the system to inspire unlimited faith in Srila Prabhupada as the primary guru of each disciple. Together, we can discuss how to resolve the challenges before us. Let us forgive each other for what may have been done or said in the heat of our devotional concerns. Let us serve together as a united family for the higher principle of assisting Srila Prabhupada in spreading unconditional love for Krishna throughout the world. ISKCON GBC and members of ISKCON.
So the response.
The response, see, we have only one demand.
Only Prabhupada should
close the
Diksha Guru.
dispute. The dispute is about property.
Property.
So we have agreed, it gets closed.
Closed.
But they don't want, because they don't want to accept in our temples only
The ritvik
ritvik
system.
system of initiation.
That they are not ready.
So when they are saying that they have gone through lot of evolving
Yes.
from zonal Acharya system to ordinary Madhyamadhikari, Diksha Gurus, all this now today it has come to that level.
Yes.
When it has come to, they have changed all that. Then they had a system where when the whole point is, it is not only a theoretical fight.
Okay.
There have been serious consequences to ISKCON movement when these gurus fell down.
As you said, only 2 are remaining out of 11.
Yeah. Not only that, not only 11 people took up acharyaship, out of which 9 have
Fallen
gone as
away.
of date. In 1987, there was an appraisal within ISKCON,
Okay.
and they formed the Prabhupada disciples who were not the acharyas, 11 acharyas. They formed a 50-man committee, and they questioned the GBC
Okay.
on the excesses of these 11 acharyas. Excess of worship, being exclusive acharya in their respective zones, and some of these excesses were not even mentionable. So this 50-man committee said, Prabhupada has not appointed you, so how you have taken this position as zonal acharyas? So they entered into a compromise where these 11 acharyas, they said, some of you in this 50-man committee, we are not the only acharyas.
Okay.
You can also join as gurus. So in this way, number of gurus expanded. Today there are about 150 gurus in ISKCON.
Oh.
See, 150 gurus means, according to our philosophy, 150 guru means 150 gurus disciples means 150 camps. It has been split into 150 camps.
Okay.
Just like if you see Bombay, there are 2 temples, Chowpatty and Juhu. In Juhu, most of them are all Gopal Krishna Maharaj disciples. His
Okay.
camp. Chowpatty, all are Radhanath Swami's disciples. So it is the camp.
Okay.
In this way, all over the world, this guru system has created multiple camps. Each temple, practically each temple becomes one guru's camp, or many temples. Like Delhi, you say, all are Gopal Krishna Maharaj disciples.
Okay.
Even though on paper, as per the GBC policy, any guru can go and initiate anywhere in any temples, but it doesn't happen. So anyway,
Because there is party interest.
yes, because you can't blame. That's our philosophy. Our philosophy is you have to be loyal. You have to increase the disciples for your guru.
Promote your guru.
Promote your guru for conditioned souls to be connected to him. So this is our philosophy.
Okay.
Okay, just like we work day and night to connect the conditioned souls to Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
Right? Because a guru is one who saves the living entity. On behalf of Krishna, he takes us back to Godhead.
Okay.
So this is the situation of today. So what therefore there is no question of we taking up guruship.
So what they offered to the 50-man committee, same thing they are offering here
Yes.
to the ISKCON Bangalore
You
devotees.
give up this July 9, some of you become gurus.
Same what they did in 1987, they are repeating it now.
Because today within ISKCON, guru position is so glorious. We could have immediately embraced
Yes.
if we had material ambitions.
Yes.
Oh, now I will be guru in
Okay.
ISKCON, and would have compromised. But that's not our. We are struggling
Yes.
to establish only Prabhupada as the Diksha Guru. Others
So-
can all be Siksha Gurus. We are not saying there cannot be Gurus in ISKCON.
Okay.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is to make everybody Guru.
Yes.
But the moment you say Diksha Guru, the system set up by Prabhupada, the standard is different.
Okay.
He has to be a liberated soul.
Hmm.
He has to be a confidential associate of Krishna. And there are unlimited. He has to be a Uttamadhikari. That means a devotee who have attained highest platform. These are all the things that Prabhupada's Diksha Guru system which he has set up. And they should be worshipped as good as God.
And by their own admission, they are not in that standard.
That's a different matter. This what we are saying is that when you say, we are also saying that everybody has to Guru. This whole movement is meant for becoming Guru. To teach. To teach. That's called Siksha Guru.
Shiksha Guru.
Siksha Guru. And Siksha Guru can have can take care of a younger devotee giving Siksha. There is a personal connection.
Okay.
So that is how the whole, Prabhupada did not give July 9th instruction, 1977 instruction. He gave it in a context of an institution. That we have to understand.
Okay.
If you take alone July 9th, it is not in tradition, this thing, as Prabhupada invented something, which is not in tradition, all these arguments will come. But Prabhupada actually, it's an institutional system of initiation.
Okay.
If there is no GBC, if there is no ISKCON, somebody cannot say I am a ritvik and give initiation for Prabhupada. He cannot. Because there are many other ingredients of an institution like Sadhu Sangha, all these things which all plus ritvik system together, put together. Because Sadhu Sangha is a living in flesh and blood.
Okay.
Right? We'll take a younger devotee who is very much gross in his understanding. They need Sadhu Sangha to come up to higher level of associating more effectively with Vani of Prabhupada.
Okay.
But that they say this is absent if in the ritvik system. Who said it's absent? It's very much present. In the last 20 years, we are 25 years we are practicing. When we started this ritvik dispute, we had only 30 devotees in this Bangalore temple. Today we are about 1,000 initiated disciples, full-time devotees dedicated. So is it not working? It is working. They are making progress. They are making advancement. As Srila Prabhupada's disciples, taking association from the older devotees.
Okay.
The Diksha Guru, the Guru who delivers you, his connection is not limited by being in flesh and blood.
Okay.
That Prabhupada taught us. Vapu is a very limited aspect of associating with Guru. Vani is infinite.
The instructions.
The instructions of Srila Prabhupada to associate with Guru through the instruction is the essence. Now Vani Srila Prabhupada living, in flesh and blood, he left in 1977.
Yes.
But today as Vapu, his deities are there in the temple.
Correct.
And we not created those deities. Prabhupada installed the deities
Even
in
when
ISKCON temple when he was still here.
Yes.
So even Vapu is not absent.
Correct.
So these are some of the things that the GBC is not accepting and leaving the followers in confusion. If you ask, GBC had never made one statement that we do not certify the actual standing of a ISKCON Guru, whether he is a Madhyamadhikari or Uttamadhikari.
They do not certify.
They do not certify. Neither they say this or that.
Okay.
So what do the disciples think? They will read Prabhupada's books and they will only impose all high superlatives of a spiritual master. And then what happens?
Is giving?
Betrayal. When the Guru falls down, there is betrayal. See, when a disciple is like a child.
Correct.
For the Guru. Correct? Spiritual father and child is a relationship. When you betray faith of your own child, there is trauma for the child. There is violence. There is a Jiva Hamsa. And this has happened in ISKCON. If the system was correct, will this happen? In thousands of disciples disillusioned when one Guru falls. Just like in this world, in India, there is this POSCO Act.
Yes.
They take child abuse very seriously.
Correct.
Big crime.
Correct.
Why? Because the child is trauma for the child.
Trauma for the child.
Similarly, once I accept somebody as my spiritual master, Shastra says, Yasya deva parabhaktir yata devo tata guru. They have to be worshipped as good as God. Then only all the secrets of Vedic knowledge will come. So, you read Prabhupada's books, ISKCON has stamped somebody as guru. They have full faith in ISKCON, and they apply all these superlatives on that personality, and suddenly when
He falls down.
it becomes a big betrayal of faith, and it becomes a spiritual trauma. In fact, if there is an equivalent of an act of POSCO with Yamaraj,
Okay.
these people who unauthorizedly taken up the duty of being Guru, Diksha Guru, they're all subject to punishment. 100% subject to punishment. Because who told them to do it? Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, better to do your own duty than somebody else's.
Correct.
And you want to be over enthusiastic and say, I want to serve Srila Prabhupada as an initiating Guru.
Without the order.
Without the order. And then somebody will say that, they also say that, no, accidents always happen. Every road there is an accident. Now, every road there is an accident, okay, it's agreed. But at least he should be trained to drive, no?
Correct.
Okay, no problem. Accidents happen in the road. You halfway you know how to drive. Come on, get into the road. It's like that.
Yes.
Rubber stamping people as Diksha Gurus, and where devotees read Prabhupada's books innocently and they paste all high spiritual emotions on them and get betrayed and they get into an accident, get injured, spiritually injured. How can the GBC close its eyes to all this? They should open up their mind. At least they should say that, these people are not whom we are authorized in ISKCON. To young devotees, there should be some kind of a warning. That also is not there even today. Because you cannot institutionalize, because Prabhupada has told, they read Prabhupada's books. You cannot change Prabhupada's books. Why I have taken Diksha, now I accept him as good as God. All the more it is reinforced. They have Vyasa Puja, they have Guru Puja. That means they are worshipped as good as God. It's not prohibited in ISKCON. So this is the thing. It will be very interesting to see that we gave a reply
To the offer they made.
to the return offer they made. We gave
You also become Guru.
Yeah, the offer they gave. So we have some of the salient features that I would like to read. We are grateful to you for your clear response in your joint letter dated 9th March 2013. It is unfortunate that for you, Srila Prabhupada's system of initiation as outlined in July 9, 1997 return directive is a barrier for an out-of-court settlement. This is in spite of our offering of ownership control of all properties and of our group temples in India, in return to your leaving intact our present system of initiation as per Srila Prabhupada's July 9th directive and allowing it to be practiced and preached in our temple. We are not asking them to do any favor. It is already going on. Take the property, don't disturb.
That's all.
While recognizing our concerns for minimization of Srila Prabhupada's position in ISKCON, it is unfortunate that you are not embracing the straightforward solution of declaring all initiating gurus to be initiating on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. This alone ensures that His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada will spiritually rule the heart of every devotee in ISKCON. This is one stroke solution to the admittedly major problem that ISKCON is facing on this front today. Parallel and conflicting lines of authorities, fall down of gurus, internal guru-centered factions within ISKCON, lack of financial accountabilities of gurus due to unavoidable tradition of Guru Dakshina, etc. Yet we see your reluctance to accept the simple and straightforward solution provided by Srila Prabhupada. We appreciate the efforts and measures being taken to keep Srila Prabhupada in the preeminent position in ISKCON. Now there are many of you who are Srila Prabhupada's pre-77 disciples in the GBC and Bureau. with a concern to keep Srila Prabhupada in his eminent position in ISKCON. But after a few generations of gurus who are externally and visibly successful with a large number of disciples, there will be no impetus to attempt to maintain Srila Prabhupada's eminent position. This is because their external and noticeable apparent success in preaching could blind the gurus and their disciples from recognizing the influence that Srila Prabhupada will continue to play in the hearts of the devotees in his ISKCON, which he founded. We shudder at this thought. Whereas in the alternative that we have been practicing in our group of temples through the July 9 system of initiation, Srila Prabhupada will inescapably shine not only in the institution but in the hearts of every ISKCON devotee. It's a long letter that we wrote. Even though a few among us may not want to be part of the larger ISKCON, nevertheless for the rest of the world, Srila Prabhupada has blessed us with ISKCON Bangalore Society. We at least hope that you will see our group as creating strong followers for Srila Prabhupada. Our beloved founder Acharya and Diksha Guru desist from disturbing our preaching activities as is being done since the last decade. See, the another thing they say that Prabhupada wanted only one ISKCON society. It is not true. Here is a letter of Srila Prabhupada.
Okay.
It says, to whom it may concern.
Okay.
1974. As the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, I authorize that the society may incorporate under the Religious Societies Act of 1860 separately in West Bengal as the International Society for Krishna Consciousness with myself as the founder Acharya. I also appoint the following as the trustees: Gargamuni, Bhavananda and Jayapataka Swami. Dated this 30th day of October 1974. If Prabhupada was very particular, as they claim, there should be only one society in India.
All the temples in one society.
One society. That is Bombay Society. Look at his intention here. They have not followed it.
But this letter exists.
The letter is a proof that Prabhupada wanted it.
Prabhupada told like that.
Prabhupada signed. He has signed. So they have not followed that. So this whole argument that there can be only one society of ISKCON in India is contrary to what Prabhupada's structure of how ISKCON should be organized. That is a very separate issue which I can discuss separately with Prabhupada's letter about decentralization and many other things. Prabhupada's will. All this if you take out, you will very clearly see. In Prabhupada's will, 1977, Bombay Society was registered in 1971.
Okay.
There is not a whisper of Bombay Society.
Okay.
Rather, he separately says Bombay property will be under 3 property trustees. Those days 8 temples were there: Bombay, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Hyderabad, etc. like that. For each of them, Prabhupada has appointed separate property trustees. He didn't say they will be under ISKCON Bombay registered society. He has not told that.
Yeah.
In the will. Will is a legal document.
If all one, then why
it's a legal document? That's the best place to say that.
And the way he has placed separate trustees for each.
And also in 1978, Yashodanandan Prabhu, Hamsaduta Prabhu, they have given us in writing affidavit saying that Prabhupada asked them to register a separate society in Bangalore. That's why they registered.
Okay. That was before you came into picture.
Much before I came into thing. So to say that the society was cannot own ISKCON property, it is not ISKCON.
So in essence, I understand you have made the peace proposal, that is ISKCON Bangalore devotees, in which you are giving over not only the disputed property but all other 25 properties to ISKCON Bureau and International GBC. In response, they are saying we cannot accept this. Instead, you also join us and become gurus.
Yes.
And we have obviously, because that is our only concern, that Srila Prabhupada should be the only guru. ISKCON Bangalore devotees have not accepted it. They have rejected this.
Yes. So this shows very clearly the real issue for them also
is not property.
Is not property. For us also it's not property.
It's not property.
So we call this bluff. Now what has happened is they have isolated the ISKCON followers.
Correct.
From us.
From ISKCON Bangalore.
ISKCON Bangalore. In other words, they have scared them. They are offensive. Mayavadism, this is all kinds of things. So they use the right weapon to scare the devotees from understanding even July 9th letter. Devotees are scared to come and read anything that we write even. And it's not simply writing. Less said the better. There's a whole history of ISKCON. How these 11 people, they wanted to be acharyas even when Prabhupada was there. Some of them. There's full evidence. They wanted to be the acharya even when Prabhupada was there. What is the evidence? Prabhupada himself has said,
Okay.
some of them are waiting for me to die. What more evidence you need? So there was ambition, definitely, to become the acharyas, and that created chaos. And today we can see devotees who try to understand this issue, they should look back, 50 years back and see in 1977, these devotees have chanted. These people who became zonal acharyas
Correct.
have maximum chanted 11 years.
Yes.
I mean, there are hundreds of devotees, thousands of devotees in ISKCON movement who are chanted 11 years.
11 years.
Indian devotees.
Correct.
So they become acharyas as good as Prabhupada and get worship. So they were immature at that time. They did this mistake, but they are not admitting that the alternative is follow exactly Srila Prabhupada's instruction, because that becomes too much to admit. So instead they admit little. Oh, zonal acharya was wrong. Now we are all mini Diksha Gurus. Shastra doesn't talk about any mini Diksha Guru. Diksha Guru is Diksha Guru. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.